Okay, this is Zarong, and let's just kind of check this out. Um, it's a little slow. No. Um, so you mentioned not being able to mirror any weights. Um, I'm just kind of checking out your weights. Everything looks okay so far. I'm wondering, from this image, it's pretty obvious what the problem is with mirroring, which is that you have the control selected, but you need to have the surface selected for which you want to mirror the weight. So I'm pretty sure that the problem mirroring weight is that you're selecting the control, but not the surface. So if I wanted to mirror weight, I would have to select this surface, and let's say I wanted to mirror from this side to that side. I don't know. I mean, it seems okay, but anyway, let's say, for example, you didn't want to pull as much of the shirt with that shoulder. Um, maybe. Why can't I pick that vert? There we go. Um, right mouse click, paint, skin cluster weights, and double click. Go ahead and dock this over here. Turn off my outliner. And let's say we want to reduce the weight on the left shoulder there. Shoulder left. Doesn't seem to be much on there. Oh, it's more this one. Um, maybe let's say like we want to put it with the scapula, or we could just try reducing this a little bit. I'm just gonna scale and change the value to like 0.5 or something, so it'll have like half the weight it did before. And see how that moved that down a little bit. So let's go back to object mode. Let's see if we can tell the difference between how this moves now and how that moves. See how there's kind of more of this moving in that area than here? Is that obvious? Actually, I'm going to be able to move these at the same time. Can you see the difference? It's subtle. So let's try mirroring now and see if we see a difference. So, go into rigging, skin, mirror skin weights options, from positive to negative, across the YZ, mirror, no error. Let's move off these again, see if it seems to have worked. And yeah, now they look the same. So it is working fine. You just didn't select the surface. That's all it is. No big deal. Okay, just check the head. That's looking good. Yeah, it looks like you've done a really good job, despite the mirror not working. Yeah, great work. Really good. One thing I just wanted to mention to you and to everyone is do not animate this circle when you start animating. You'll move the body with this, and you move the feet with these red IK controls. But don't, you can move this around to change the starting position, but don't animate that circle. This is Terra. Let's just check out, see how the rig's doing. It's looking good. Yeah. Nice. Good. Okay. Looks like you've combined the two hands probably when you mirrored them, so we're going to have to or something, or maybe it's an instance. One hand is an instance. One hand is an instance of the other. All right. So what we're going to have to do, I feel like they might have found this before, but I can't remember now. So modify convert instance to object, and then we're going to need to bind that to the surface. So we can try to, I might just manually select the joints. So the correct joints will be under here, under main, under the deformation system. I'll shift click on that, and this is his left hand. So we're going to go find the left wrist and do everything below in that part of the hierarchy. So we've got all those joints selected, and shift select the hand. And let's try make sure we selected joints here, and let's try the heat map, see how that does for us. Okay, and oh, yeah, okay, and see if that worked all right. Yeah. What the heck happened there? No, it sure didn't. Something's gone quite wrong. Display, animation, joint size. Let's try like 0.05. Well, the joints seem fine. I picked the right joints, right? Deformation system. Wrist. Did I do left or did I pick the wrong? It's the left wrist, right? What's it? Does look like the right joints. Just like that. Oh wait. Oh, I didn't. Let me delete history off this first. Alt Shift D. Okay, and select these joints. Select the hand. Oop. Skin, bind skin. Selected joints, heat map. Try it one more time. See if we can figure out what the heck is going on with this. Oh, look at that. I'm going to undo to where I had that selection, and let's try geodesic voxel instead. Okay. Is that working? No, what is happening here? This is very strange. I'm gonna say I think there's something weird about the geometry. I don't know what, but I'm going to select this. Ooh, why is there? No, I'm gonna select this hand and duplicate it, and yeah, it seems to be at the origin there. I'll select all these, right mouse click, unlock selected, and then I'm going to scale this -1 and the X just to duplicate that hand over, just to kind of eliminate the variable of something funny being at the surface, because this is weird. This should work fine. I don't know what's going on. Heat map again? I don't know. Do I have selected joints? I don't know what. I've got all those joints selected. Selected joints and reset. I'm just gonna try the whole joint hierarchy and see if that does anything different. I don't know, this is very strange. Really don't know I really don't know what's going on. I mean, I knew what was going on in the first place, which was the, why won't this bind? Which was the instance thing was the first problem, but yeah, it's like it's only using those two joints in the bind. That makes no sense. Okay, so I played with this for a minute and figured out a solution. One thing you can do with the surface is you can select additional joints. So the weird thing I have no idea why this is happening, but the weird thing that's happening to me is it's only binding those two joints. But you can add an influence to a surface. So I'm selecting all of these, selecting the surface, and going to skin, edit influences, add influence. And now, when I go into paint weights, all those joints show up in there. And then I can mirror my skin weights from one hand to the other. I'll select this one, and then this one, and skin, mirror skin weights options. I uncheck this because it should be going from the negative side to the positive side. Mirror, and that seems to be working normally now. So I don't know why all that went wrong, but that's the solution to it. I'm a little bewildered by it. Oh, you didn't do the head thing. That is demonstrated in the module. So I'll start with the hair, because that's probably going to move 100% with the head. So I'll go to paint weights, and I'll just do star head star, whoops, capital H star to find my head joint real quick. Oh, it looks like it is flooded to the head. Wait a minute. Alright, you did do that. Okay, so maybe... Then why is it squishing like that? Boy, getting stumped left and right here. Let me just do this real quick, just to see what happens. I'm going to flood this all to the head also. So that's definitely not fully on the head, so I'm going to flood. Oh! Value of 0.5. Oh, should be replaced with a value of 1. That's probably why I messed up on the hair, even though it looked white. Flood. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was my fault. I didn't have my settings correct. It should be replaced with a value of 1. Okay, so now it's just that the eyeballs aren't fully on the eye joints. Do you even have the eye joints on here? I mean, that could be another good add influence thing. Star, eye, star. Huh. What's the name of those joints? Maybe it's lowercase I. Oh, I left and I R. So what I could do is I could add this as an influence. Skin, edit influences, add influence, and do the same for this one. This would be I R. Did I do that first one right? No. Skin. add influences. Okay. And then just flood this to the, well, oh, that was weird. Oh, it's black because of the color feedback. Okay. Let's see if this I is in here somewhere. No. No. Oh, it's a capital I. Didn't I try that before? No, maybe not. There we go. And then we can just, again, value 1, replace, flood. And then for this one, same idea. Left, flood. Okay. Alright, and then I just have to deal with the neck. So let me just isolate this for a second. And I'll take this and this maybe, and Control F9 will convert that to vertices, and let's find a neck, star, neck M, I guess. And then let's just flood it to that, but then go to object mode and let's try smoothing, flood with smooth. So it's like a gradual thing. Alright, and let's unisolate that and see how we're doing now. Okay, yeah. I could fiddle with the weights on the collar a little bit and stuff like that, but basically that looks better now. Alright. Yeah, other than that, looking good from what I can find. I'll just save this in case you want it. Let me know. And but yeah, I mean, so a few little things to fix, but overall you've done a good job. Okay, so let's look at the problem you're having with this point here. I might actually, wait a minute. No, I might even try to hammer this point just to see if that helps. Yeah, that might be actually easier. But maybe that's still not solving the problem. I'm just hitting G to do the most recent function. G. But anyway, I'm just going to undo that because just to kind of show you, otherwise. So right mouse click, paint. Where's paint? Double click on this tool, dock that over here. Come on, buddy. Okay. So I think you didn't have the right joint selected. So let's look at star shoulder. Star. Oh, by the way, some of these are locked, so that could be some of what your issue was. Oh, it's on the other side. So there's a little bit on that, a little bit on this, a little bit on that. So, but I think when you were doing it in the video, why am I not getting color feedback now? I don't know. I think you were here where that particular joint didn't have any weight on it, but this one does and this one does. So if I go to here, replace with a value of 0, flood, you see that at least the color changed a little bit. Oh, it just moved the weight to this other one. Okay, so that moved it in somewhat. So the other thing we can do is kind of pick the joint that you want it to go to, like a spine joint or something. Let's just do spine and maybe this one, and then these are all locked. Oh geez, okay, let's take a step back. Let's unlock everything because that's gonna make it better because we're trying to move weights around, and if some of these are locked. So I think actually the replacing with 0 is going to work better now because weights have somewhere to go, because they didn't know where to go because everything was locked. So again, let's replace value of 0 flood. This one flood. That one flood. And you can see it moving in. But that's something went a little wacky here, but yeah, this one's sticking way out now. But also we can try hammer skin weights. Yeah, that's better. Easy. G for most recently done function, hammer this one, G. It's hammering that one. So just if hammer works, it's easier. This one looks like kind of smooth around here. Might actually, this will be a good opportunity to use smooth. You know, hold on B and make my brush a little smaller. Change this to smooth, and let's see. Not so great. Maybe, but maybe if we do it for this one. No. No love for the smooth. It's too bad. Kind of feels like that's just the way the geometry is. Actually, I thought it was a weighting that was doing that, bunching the stuff up, but if I zero out these joints, I think it's just bunched up in the model a little bit. If you look at that little area right there. Yeah. No, so that wasn't having to do with the weighting. It's your model. That's... Oh, this side looks a little different, doesn't it? It's just sort of bunched up there. Probably could kind of, you know, spread that out a little bit more. Those, I guess it looks okay smoothed, so maybe it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's doing that thing because the way those are bunched up. Kind of funny there. You can sort of see that. That's without any movement on it. Anyway, yeah, I have to go back to modeling. Oh, it looks like this has kind of got some weird intersections too. It's moving all right. Just a quick note for all of you is when you start animating, don't animate this circle. You can move it to get the character a starting point, but then when you animate, move the body with this thing, and then move the feet with these. But don't animate that circle. These are pointing out, which isn't great, but it's fine. Alright, well, I think it's working pretty well. You might want to adjust the positions, stuff like this, where, you know, so it's more, whoops, did I miss some? No. Am I picking the wrong? I am. There we go. So, and then isn't there another one here? Yeah, this guy. Boop. No. Those. Whoops. I keep doing that. Okay. Anyway, so just so they're easier to pick. You know, you can put them wherever you want, but you just want them easy to pick. So you can fix those. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Hopefully that explanation of the point thing. It's just, it matters which joint you have selected to whether you can change the weights, because you were trying to zero out weights for a joint that didn't have any weight on it. It was already black for that particular vertex on the joint you had selected. So you had to try one of the other joints. This is Daisy, and yeah, apologies for not getting to your instructor office post earlier. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work right. Well, maybe it's alright if we put that behind. Does that look? Yeah, I think a bit too much is moving with that shoulder, but I guess it's okay. You were asking about the blue rings around the leg. It depends if you're in FK or IK mode. So right now you're in IK mode. If I switch to FK mode, those are the blue rings. So 0 is FK, 10 is IK, and you have one. If you're in the middle, you have both visible, but you don't want to be in the middle. You want to be either at 0 for FK or 10 for IK. And with legs, in almost all cases, you're going to want to animate with IK because they make the feet stick on the floor, and it's like next to impossible to get the feet to stick on the floor without IK being on. The only case where you could use FK for the legs is a situation like if they were falling from the sky or the legs were dangling off the end of a dock or something, like those kinds of situations. But normally when the feet are on the ground or on a ladder or stairs or anything, they're IK. Yeah, a bit concerned about how these ended up in front, and yeah, I think it's sort of when I put it to behind there to fix that, it's really twisting up the arm, unfortunately. So, I mean, honestly, I would too. Oh, and you still need to weight the head. I showed the head weighting thing earlier in this video, so I think so. If you want to just look at that, so I don't have to do it again, but really, what I would do is I would probably try to do the fit skeleton thing again to get so that when you build that those pull vector things end up in the right position, because I'm a little concerned about the arms being twisted around. I'd be very interested to see your fit skeleton file if you have that. Yeah, so I could take a look at your fit skeleton file, but I would just say, do it again, save each step along the way as a separate file, and if it still happens where you get like that weird result, and by each step I mean save out the fit skeleton and then save out after you build and then save out after you skin, each in a separate file, named differently so that I can look at each separately, and then you can send me those if this is still happening. But I don't think there's a way to fix it after the fact. I think the fit skeleton has to be right in the first place. So you just try it again. Just do it over again with a clean model, without anything else in the file. Either you have the saved one or just delete everything out of this. Like really, it's mostly that. Start from here. Make sure there's nothing else weird in here. Like that. And then do the fit skeleton step again. Whoops. I know that's probably not the answer you want to hear, but I really don't know any other way to fix it.